How's it going, everyone? It's Alex with AC Flips. I'm a full-time six-figure Amazon seller, and in today's video we're going to do some live sourcing on academy.com. It is back to school season and there are so many deals going on right now, all basically the month of August. And if you haven't already started taking advantage of some of these sales, and especially merchant fulfilling, then you're definitely missing out on how big of an opportunity the month of August really is. For me, the month of August is gonna be my biggest month since December, so I'm definitely trying to take advantage as much of all the back to school supplies and clothing and accessories that I can. So I'm gonna show you some of that sourcing of how I'm looking for these types of products. So let's jump right in. All right, we are on academy.com. Let's take a look. We see the homepage here. We can see that thousands of deals up to 50% off and Sunday. So we have backpacks, clothing, shoes, boots. Looks like bikes are on sale. We can scroll down and see some other categories that we might not have thought of in the past. I see football here. Backpacks are very much oversourced at the moment. I'm not saying there's not deals there, but you guys can find that stuff on your own. But let me help you find maybe some clothing or sports gear, because back to school season is not just about clothes and backpacks. There's a bunch of school sports that start up in the fall as well. So let's dive into maybe some of these categories. So we're gonna look at the football gear here. Hopefully a lot of this is on sale. So what we're looking for here is shoes, gloves, mouth guards, cleats. There's going to be a lot of different things. And on a site like this where they're listing multiple prices, it's kind of hard to know like what price is associated with what shoe and what color. So what I'm going to do is open up each product in a different tab, and then we will look at those tabs separately in SellerAmp. There's definitely the method where you can right click and search it here, but again, we don't know if it's 32 or 44. That's a pretty big swing in price. So we just want to be able to know the specifics. So I'm going to open up each product in a separate tab and we'll look that way. And some of these gloves are, buy one, get one 50% off, which could be really nice here, but I'm going to be looking for products of brands that I know. Let's hide the out of stock, so we're not messing around with stuff that we think could be in stock and then we can't actually purchase it. I know Battle has some good products. I've sold them in the past, but let's take a look at, like I said, some of these cleats maybe aren't the worst idea. Obviously, if it's the very first search and everybody else is able to see this, then might be over purchased, but let's just open it and take a look here. Football pants, I'm not really sure about football pants. We'll open up like one and we'll take a look and see if maybe it's worth looking into more football pants. Vapor Edge Pro cleats here. Let's see. We got Adidas cleats. Again, Amazon sells Adidas, but there might be some sizes that they're out of stock on, and football cleats are probably doing really well right now. So let's look at something like this. Vapor Edge Shark 2, let's take a look at that. Let's see, we'll open up like one or two more. Wilson football, never know, footballs could be doing okay right now. And then we'll open up like a glove and see, because they are buy one, get one 50% off. Okay, so let's look at some of these products. I got a lot of tabs open, so I don't want to get slowed down by this. You can see we get 10% off our next purchase when we sign up for email. So we're going to keep that in mind, unless it says, right, like we can't, no extra discounts included on a product like this, which they will say that on some products. Then we want to make sure that we're not adding that 10%. But on a product like this, I don't see anything where it says, no extra discounts included. So we are going to be looking at taking that 10% off. So we have the Menace 3 Shark cleats, 27K rank. That's pretty solid. Not many people selling this variation. So let's, so we can see that we have this color, the black, all black and the all white. Looks like the black and the white with like mixed colors. Is not in stock, at least for size 9, maybe at any sizes. But let's see. Yeah, so some sizes are in stock, some are not. So we'll just have to keep that in mind. All right, so we can see that they don't have the all blacks as a size, but they do have the all whites. So we're gonna probably take a look at that. Take a look at the variations tab to see, if they have it. 27K rank in clothing is still really good. So we're gonna look at the variations tab down below. Hopefully find some of those all white shoes. Okay, all white seems to be the top variation. Again, there's not a ton of reviews on these or ratings, so that's not a great sign, but this listing must be pretty new. A lot of these have only been tracking for, less than 3 months. So that's a good sign. So let's take a look here. We have the adult size 7 all white, which is kind of an interesting size. Not the first size you would think to pick out. But we can see the all white size here, size 7. Looks like it's in stock. We can only buy 3 of these per day. Home delivery out of stock for me, but maybe for someone else, or we can get notified as well, but maybe for you guys, you can do a store pickup. But $39.99 plus the 10% off. Let's see, what prices are we even looking at? I didn't even look at the prices. So for this one, we can see, okay, let's open up this shoe here. We don't have a buy box, so, but again, 27K rank. We'll look at the sales rank and see if there's a downward trend, because I'm assuming there is, because it's kind of, coming into football season, back to school, something like this is gonna move pretty quickly. So max cost 39, without the discount even or any gift cards, we're already at, a pretty good price here. So again, we can see that there's not a ton of sellers on this listing. If we see FBA sellers, there's like no FBA sellers, which is maybe a good sign that we could take over and maybe bring the buy box back, or just maybe get some sales in general. So $72 is the last buy box. We can see that FBM sellers are getting the sales at that $71, so that low price here. And again, this is size 7, and $39.40 is the max cost. We are looking at $39.99. So what we can do, if you're sending these to a prep center, might take a little long to get to the prep center, especially if you're trying to catch the market on like this beginning football season. A lot of people are going to be buying their cleats, in the next 30 days or less. And a lot of football programs already started. So we can see this thing started way back at like 100K, and we're already creeping down into the 20s. So this is something maybe that you would want to merchant fulfill, which is good. It's a good sign that other sellers are merchant fulfilling this product and getting sales as a merchant fulfill product. So, we can scroll down and double check the numbers here. We can see that everyone on this listing is listed FBM, which is a good sign, which means we could probably get sales at this lower price here. So again, we can type in that $39.99 times, right? We don't have sales. Well, if you're in a state without sales tax, I do have sales tax, so I'm going to multiply that 1.055. So we're sitting at $42.19. Not quite there, but we have the 0.9 because we get that 10% off discount on this type of shoe. And then we are also going to assume that we could probably get like 3 to 4% on a gift card. So we'll multiply by 0.97. And now we're looking at $36.83. I do have my prep fee in here, so I guess if I'm prepping these myself or merchant fulfilling, I can subtract my prep fee out of there. And now we're looking at a $35.28. That's a really solid ROI for something that's probably going to move pretty quick with low competition. So we can scroll down and see, like I said, we can only buy 3 of these per day, but if we're buying 3 every single day and we're using those discounts, that's $50 profit on just the 3 items. Again, we could probably buy 3 a day for the next week, and that could probably last us because, like I said, there's not a lot of competition on this type of shoe. There's a chance we could probably find other variations that work here. So this is like, again, we can see that like 90, 100. So these buy boxes are actually pretty high. If we had the all black, we could maybe make that work, but it looks like people are slowly buying this shoe, enough to bring the rank down, but not enough to make the main sizes shoot up in ratings. So just keep that in mind, like what sizes are really common. Like this shoe here, the white 10, that seems like a pretty common size for most people to want to buy. Again, the size 7 might be a little bit on the low side of people wanting to purchase size 7, unless a middle schooler has that size. But adult sizes are probably going to be anywhere from 9 to 12 are going to be good sizes to buy. And if they have any kind of review or rating, plus it's a decent size, then we should be able to buy this profitably. So let's take a look at one of the size 10. Right, we know that we might have trouble getting this guy in stock, size 10. Let's see, the blue ones or the all blacks. All right, so we can see that, for this one, like the size 10, which is probably a little bit more of a common size that might sell a little bit more often, the max cost here is $67. We go down to the Keep It chart, we can see that this thing was consistently selling at, $87, $88, and then people must have went out of stock, and then the price, the next lowest price was like 115. So if you really wanted to, you could probably bring your price back down to $88, $90, and then we're still profitable at the prices that we are currently buying at, right? We got that other one for like $35.50, something like that. We can get a buy box at 90. It's a decent size, right? Size 10. And we can see we're gonna make $31, 87% ROI. So if you can only buy 3 of these, right, you wanna find one that's probably gonna give you the best chance of selling quickly, especially if you're gonna make a big profit on each of these. So like we said, buy 3 of these. Size 10 is a little bit more common than size 7. We're gonna make $100 profit on 3 of them as compared to, $45 profit on 3 of them. So we can buy 3 of these today, we can buy 3 of them tomorrow, we can buy 3 of them basically every day that we want to. And as soon as they arrive, which Academy is pretty quick at shipping, then we can get them to our house and list them merchant fulfill. Looks like merchant fulfillers are getting the buy box, and there's only 2 sellers on the listing anyway. So if you're a merchant fulfill at the old buy box price, you're probably gonna get sales. So this could be a really nice product for you. All right, we found one good product already, and basically the first shoe we looked at. So let's keep moving here. All right, so we're gonna look at these Under Armour football pants. Again, I'm not really super familiar with the football pants, but if we do find them, then that's really cool. So this is a youth size. So we can see Under Armour Youth Integrated. This is Game Day Integrated. So we might want to see, this is Game Day football pants. So this might be the one we're looking at, even though there could be a black variation of this. Let's just take a look at both of them, and maybe we can see if, or unless the red is a really well seller, it doesn't look like we can purchase the red anyway, but let's take a look here. We got the black and white. Again, 69,000 is not horrible. We can see that, we haven't seen an increase in velocity or a decrease in sales rank in the last month or so, which is what we would hope to expect on a product that would probably sell better in the fall. Let's see if anything happened last year. So we can see that it's pretty low, once football season started, but of course Amazon was in stock at all times. And then, once football season ended, the rank shot up to about 40K. Now we're probably a little bit higher, maybe because, we don't have as much in stock and our people aren't selling as quickly. We can see there's like hardly any stock over the last 3 months. So maybe that's an underrated product for us, because we can see that when Amazon's always in stock, which they probably had enough stock to really never have an issue with running out. But here, right, maybe there's only one seller and people just aren't willing to pay a super inflated price of that one seller, or maybe their shipping is really slow. So there's other reasons why, this sales rank could be up towards like the 60, 70K range, as opposed to last year, the rank was, below 5,000. So this might be an opportunity where we could probably sell this, and if we have it priced competitively, we might be able to sell it a decent amount of time. So let's take a look at the variations. Always want to look at the variations tab on something like this. We can see that the biggest seller is obviously the black large. So we have black large and medium. Let's take a look at what the price is selling at for the large. We don't have a buy box for these, but it's probably because Amazon was in stock at one point. They're not anymore. And the price is now inflated from third-party sellers like us. So a lot of times the buy box goes away on products like this. But what we can see is we're looking at an $82.95 price, and that's one seller listed there. So we can go back and see we can get this for $33.49 plus the 10%, right? I don't see anything saying that we can't apply any other discounts. So we have the 10% off. Let's see, we have $33.49 multiplied by 1.055, that's my sales tax, multiplied by 0.9 without any other gift cards or anything else like that. Also, I gotta subtract, if I'm gonna merchant fulfill these, I'm gonna subtract my prep fee. Getting these for $30.25 after all taxes and fees. And max cost is $46. So we're making almost 100% profit on a product like this. What you could do, and not saying that you have to do this, but what I would probably do to see, I would test it out, right? I would see if this product sells faster when we're at a little bit lower price. We're making so much money on something like this. If we can increase the velocity by a factor of 2 just by lowering our price a little bit closer to, when it was selling a little bit faster. Like we can see when Amazon comes in stock over the last year, this sales rank reacts really well. So in the last 3 months, even when Amazon's in stock for a short period of time, we can see that rank always trends down. Whenever Amazon's in stock, the rank trends down. Amazon's in stock, the rank trends down. So if we keep that in mind, what's the max cost we got here? 46. If we can get that max cost bring our sales price down where this is a little bit closer to here, but still has plenty of margin. Let's say like $70. Now we still are making almost $19, 62% ROI, but maybe $70 is enough where people are like, okay, that's a lot cheaper than paying 82. Maybe the velocity increases on a product like this, and we can actually sell, maybe 100 pairs of the large over the next 30 days instead of, maybe this seller getting a total of, at the current rate, 84K rank, 110 sales a month, but this variation only gets 25%, a quarter of all the sales. So a quarter of that would be basically the seller, if he was the only one on the listing over the next 30 days, this person's only going to sell, 20 to 30 times a month, but maybe we can get that up to 100 times a month if the prices are more reasonable and people are more willing to buy these on Amazon than they are other websites. So, maybe that lowering the price a little bit will help. Let's assume that we do that and we maybe increase this 110 up to like 150. And then this variation will get, maybe 40 sales a month instead of, 20 to 25. At this current rate here, there's only 2 sellers. So let's just say that other seller matches us and we can maybe sell this 20 times over the next 30 days. Is there a limit? There is no quantity limit for this type of product. So we could probably buy this, we could probably buy this a good amount. And we're gonna be making, almost $400 profit on a product like this. Wow, we're really finding some sweet deals here for back to school. So much value. If you guys are finding this video valuable, I'm sourcing alongside of you. If you guys want to, use these leads, go right ahead, right? There's so much opportunity here. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, please subscribe to the channel or at least give the video a like, boost it up so other people can see this type of content. I think it's really helpful for the community, for everybody to, learn how to source. This is a big part of the business. So let's look a little bit further here. This is a really nice product. Let's go on to the next product here. So we have these cleats here, Nike Men's Vapor Edge Pro 360. So let's see if we have what colors in stock. We have the all black with the white swoosh. We have the all whites. Blue and reds don't normally do as well. We have grays, but let's take a look and see if we can even find the direct match here. So we have, like I said, Vapor's Edge Pro 362. That looks like this. Does look like a match here, 20K, which is a decent rank, right? Let's take a look and see. Again, there's a bunch of variations here. So first thing we want to do is see which variations are actually selling quickly. You can see there's not a ton of sellers on this listing here. You can see that the variation is pretty consistent. Again, there's not a ton of ratings, but we want to double check that, make sure that we see how long ago this stuff was listed. So these were all, within 145 days they've been tracking. So that's a really good sign that this product in 140 days is already, below 25,000 in sales rank. Just means that the product's pretty new, but it's still selling a decent amount to maintain, a 20K rank in the clothing category. So just because there's not a ton of ratings doesn't mean that it's not selling. We just have to understand what the data means, or dig into the data a little bit more to understand, like, maybe because this has 2 and this has 2, we can see that like the size 12 might not have any ratings yet, but that doesn't mean it doesn't sell fast enough. It just means that there's so few ratings that you get 1 rating and you're boosted all the way to the top of this scale. So, but we can see that the black with the white swoosh, 11.5 looks pretty good here. If we can find, prices, what do we need for price here? We got to see, hopefully we have a decent max cost in here, but we got to see, okay, 83 max cost is a little bit low. Again, we might have to look through some of these. None of them have a buy box currently, or most of them don't. So we want to see this more towards like 139. We need this to be, I guess, what are we selling for here? So we have $124. Looks like we could probably use the 10%, but we want this to be a little bit lower. So if we get 124.99 times 0.9, 112 is kind of our low price here if we're going to merchant fulfill something like this. So we need to actually boost this up quite a bit. So let's see if we get 180. We're still not quite there with 180. So maybe we have to look for a buy box of like 185 minimum. That's only a 30% ROI. Again, not amazing for clothing category because this stuff could get returned. So maybe we're looking for closer to like 190. So let's just look through some of these variations quick and see if we can find something for $190 buy box. So initially, a lot of the typical, most popular sizes are towards the top, so that's a good sign for us. But we can see the ones that do have buy boxes are not quite at the right price that we need. We need this to be, like I said, around like $190 or even higher. So I'm gonna look at a couple of these other top ones without buy boxes, and then if we can't get anything close to 200, probably gonna move on to the next product. So we have 150. Again, that's not quite good enough for us, pretty consistently at this price. So we're gonna go to look at a different variation. And then let's take a look at maybe like the 9.5, the blacks. Again, 124 here. So this one does have a buy box, even though it said it didn't. But $140 looks to be what we're selling at here. And that is not good enough. So we're not gonna spend too much time on this product. Let's go to the next product. So we have an Adidas product here. That's interesting, but we're at $120. We have the Addy Zero. We can see that the all whites are probably gonna be our best seller here, but we do have this thing pop up here. Okay, so we have Addy Zero Scorch. I don't see Scorch in this title, so I'm not sure if that's the exact product here. Ideally, we're finding the direct match. Here's the Addy Zero 4K. Okay, so we're looking at a pretty fast moving product. Let's take a look at Amazon. So this is the all white, even though it has a yellowish tinge to the product, but I guess this one does too, but it claims to be all white. So let's look at some of the best selling variations. Amazon's in and out of something like this, but again, it's a fast mover. So if we can, steal some of the buy box share on a product like this, it's only gonna help us even more. So again, this might be a fairly new listing. We got to double check. No, it's been around for quite a while and it doesn't have a ton of ratings, which is interesting because it is a 4K rank. If we look at the sales rank, we can see that basically since May, it's been a pretty fast moving product, sub 5K, which moves quick. But maybe that means that a lot of different sizes and colors are selling quickly here. So, and Amazon's not in stock on a lot of these, but again, what colors do we have available? So we have basically that white and gold. We could look at that. We do have the reds and then the all whites and the grays, I guess. So let's, we can see that those white and gold, Amazon is on that. White and gold size 9, they're not on that. So let's maybe take a look here. Pretty cool looking shoe. So max cost 116, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we see FBM sellers are looking at 156, that's really low. FBA 189. There's only 2 sellers in the listing, so one must be FBA, one must be FBM. We scroll down to see who's actually selling this. Okay, so an FBM seller is at 156, but they do have a little bit of shipping in there. And then this FBA seller is sitting at 189. I'd like to see, there hasn't been a ton of sellers in the listing since Amazon went out of stock, but the price was consistently at $120. So let's take a look at the data and see if we can get any sales history data from the offers tab here, include historical. It's not giving us a ton of data here. So this might be something that if I were to purchase, I might go a little bit of a test buy to start. And if it sells, then I go really heavy on it. Just because there's so little competition and it's such a fast moving product, this thing could sell, 50 to 200 times in a month, especially over the next month. And if we're making good money on it, then it's definitely worth looking into. So we're looking at 120, 119, 99 times the 0.9. And again, I'd probably merchant fulfill this just because I want to get this out quick. So we get that sales tax in there as well. Subtract the prep fee, and I'm looking at $112 compared to the max cost 116. So we are in a decent ROI. It's not amazing, right? And that's if we're selling at the $189. If we were to do the FBM calculation, it's probably going to be around $10 to ship something like this. And then we're still looking at, selling at $189, 34% ROI. Again, there is an FBM seller at 156, and I don't think 156 is good enough for us to want to sell this. Yeah, only a 9% ROI. So we want to be able to sell this at 189. Maybe we can find a different variation that has a little bit more consistent price history at this higher price. But if you wanted to, you could wait a couple days, see if this FBM seller sells out, and then maybe the only price available is that $189. and then that'll kind of give you a good sense of if this product actually sells or this size variation actually sells. If it does, definitely give it a test buy. If it doesn't, right, we can move on, or we can just look at other variations that might have, like I said, more consistent price history at the higher price, because again, this is still $120, similar to that last cleat. We just got to make sure that we have a buy box price that is high enough to make profit on a shoe like this, because we do see other variations that are at, you know, $120, which is exactly what we're purchasing it for, $92, which is lower than we're purchasing it for. So we don't want to lose money and just not analyze the data well enough to buy something that's not going to sell at those high prices. So just make sure you're doing your research on a product like this. But let's move on to one more product. We found some good stuff already, but let's move on to one more product. This practice jersey would be interesting. I don't know much about Rydell, except that I used to wear it in high school when I played football. But let's take a look here and see if we can sell some of this, because they're all at $14.99. Probably use the 10% off, but I'm not even sure about a product like this. So let's take a look. We got Under Armour practice jersey, Champs Pro, Rawlings. We need Rydell. Let's keep looking a little bit further. Another Rawlings. I'm not seeing Rydell even listed on Amazon, so and the title looks to be correct. So okay, so we won't end on this. We'll try to end on a product that we can actually see here. Okay, so we'll try to end on a product that at least is listed on Amazon. So Vapor Edge Shark 2. Let's open up our seller amp tool and see if we can find the match here. So Shark 2, yep, this looks like a match, 100K rank. Not amazing, but let's take a look. We have the black and the whites. There's no stock limit. Looks like we probably use the 10% off, and there is the black and the whites in stock, so we might be able to find this profitably. It doesn't sell super quick, that's the only issue. So let's open up an Amazon and see if we can find a direct match that's worth buying. All right, so scroll down to the variations, right? Because we want to see what variation is going to sell the best here. This is only black, so we're only going to look at the color black and hopefully find the right sizes. So again, when you have a listing that's like this, it's a pretty new listing. It probably hasn't been purchased enough times for people to rate the product. So when that happens, we want to revert to the variations that are probably most known to be best sellers, like size 10, size 11, 11 and a half, 12, stuff like that is probably going to be stuff that's gonna sell a decent amount, and hopefully the data tab can give us some more information on this. But just looking at a 7.5 that got a rating, it is random that one size got the one rating on the entire listing. So we want to assume that, you know, the standard sizes 9 through 12 are probably going to sell the most in the long run. So let's take a look at the size 11. What prices are we working with here? We got $49.99, but we get that 10% off. So let's take a look here. 107K rank. We want to make sure we can see that it's kind of on a downtrend. I mean, it was higher back in May and June, and we kind of see it definitely leveling out to a little bit lower of a price here, which is a good sign for us, but kind of sitting right around that 100K rank here. So 70 is the max cost, 119 is the sale price. The buy box just went away recently, not really sure why, but the offer count is decreasing, which is a good sign that this product is selling. We were up at 14, a month and a half ago. Now we're all the way down to 6. So that decrease in offer count, or the up and down in offer count, is telling me that this product does sell. This variation does sell. And if it's listed at $80, again, we can see that 119, maybe the next lowest seller of the other 6 sellers are at the 119, or that's just the lowest FBA. But if we can see that the FBM sellers are still listed at $80, so if we go $80 here, we can see that the max cost is 44. We're looking at 49, but again, let's do some math here. We have $49.99 multiplied by that 0.9 times our sales tax. If we're gonna merchant fulfill this, I gotta subtract the prep fee in there, and then we're looking at $45.92. I didn't add any gift card in here, but that could give us a little bit more of a boost here. Let's just see what the other sellers are listed at, because there's not a ton of them. 7 sellers, but most of them are FBM. We have that $79, and we will probably merchant fulfill. So again, we can probably ship this for $10. That's gonna put us at $12 profit, 26% ROI. If you're okay with that, maybe football cleats won't get returned as much because you don't really have time, especially if the season starts, you don't have time to return them and wait for new cleats. But A little bit low on the ROI for me, but you're still gonna make $12 profit. And it is something that probably sells a decent amount. We can see that even though it's a 100K rank, we can see that the offer count is dropping. So these sellers are selling out and falling off the listing. So that's a really good sign. We can see other variations that potentially have the same trend. But even if we sell, 5 of these in the next couple weeks or 10 of them, we're gonna make a decent amount of profit on here, over $100, which is exactly what we would want in a product like this. A little bit of merchant fulfilled, but wow, we found a lot of good products today. Back to school season is just crazy. A lot of these products are moving so much quicker than they were a couple months ago. So take advantage of these types of products. Merchant fulfill if you have the opportunity, because you can ship stuff really quickly, and a lot of buyers like that this time of year. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. All right, so that session was a lot of fun. Like I said, back to school is just going crazy right now. There's so many sales going on. So check out some of the other sites. Maybe use some Keep It Product Finder to help you find which products could be a good buy for this time of year, and go merchant fulfill some products. And hopefully you can make some big money this back to school season. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.